Hey guys, in this video, we're going to kick off a new series, and this is What's Your Build? And in the comments, I've had people asking us, what do we do to our cars and why, how we get them to run the way we do, and the reasoning behind it. In this series, we're going to go over one car at a time. We're going to show you what we've done to them, and we're going to explain our thoughts behind it and why we selected what we did. This should be a lot of fun, so let's get on with it. Check this out. All right, so let's get right down inside of this thing and show you what's up and what we've done so far to date. So if you take a look right on the outside here, you'll notice that this has the 6S wheels and tires on it. It doesn't have the TLR version. These are the standard Arrma tires and wheels that go with them. This is a new set, and Arrma decided, and here's some holes right here and here, that they would vent these from the factory, which is nice because if you don't vent them, they take on debris on the inside that goes inside the wheel, comes out inside of the foam, gets out of balance. They're really hard to drive when that happens. And Arrma's starting to vent these from the factory, which means they're actually listening to the bashing community, which is very cool, and I'm impressed with that. But the reason we have these on is because we're going to run it against the rest of them out at the track, and we're going to see if this actually handles better with all the adjustability and stuff that TLR put into it to make it more of a track machine. Now, in that video, we'll find out whether or not it's actually worth the money to buy one of these or just grab one of those. This comes as a roller, so it doesn't have any of the electronics in it. Those are RTR, so they show up with the motor, radio, speed control, all the goods. Put a battery in it, put some batteries in the receiver or in the radio, and go for it. This one comes with none of that. It's just a roller. We had to go ahead and build it, which was fun. We got to put what we want in it, but at the same time, we are going to have to test it to see if there's a real advantage to buying this. So what we did for protective reasons is we put a bumper on the front, and this is an RPM front bumper, and it's a really good thing to have. These things have kind of a blunt front end on them if you don't have a bumper. And if you run into debris, this has a tendency to shovel in and stop the car and then bounce up with very little speed left. With the bumper, it'll scurf over that like a scoop, and it'll go right up and over, and you'll keep your speed, at least a lot of it, and it won't be so detrimental to the car. Plus, it's wide enough to protect most of the arms and the shock towers, the shocks themselves, and if it's outside of that, usually the tire can get over it anyway unless you hook something big. And you're going to have problems that way anyhow. So that bumper is necessary. We put it on all the Typhons. They all have it. The only one that doesn't have it is a 3S, and as far as I know, they don't have one of these for it, but we'll have a look in that department. On the back, we changed it out for RPM wing mounts. And the reason we did the RPM wing mounts is because they're flexible. Okay, that's kind of a big deal there. If this thing hits the ground and if it shovels in on the tail, that wing mount will take up all that extra power and it won't transfer it into the car, and that saves on parts big time. And being as flexible as it is, that's a good thing. The original ones, they sit just a little lower with the wing, but they're so rigid that when you land on the tail, you usually break things, even if it's just the bolts that go through. You break something, and that's not a good thing. Also, when we launch this off the ramps, we swap out that wing mount, which is a TLR style wing mount, and we put the original 6S one on because it's a bit more pliable and will take more impact without shattering. This, on the other hand, not so much. So that being said, this is pretty much what we've done to the exterior of the car. On the inside, keep in mind we do plan to run this against the RTRs, and they all have the basic setup we have here. And if you look inside, you'll see we've got the 2050 Spectrum motor in it, 150 amp speed control, but what we did vary from what they put in the RTRs is it does have a 35 kilogram servo inside of it, and it's a bit quicker and it's a lot stronger, so it's more reliable in that aspect. You can get these all day long for, I don't know, right around $40 on eBay. Just type in 40 kg servo and those things pop up. So you don't really need the part number on that, guys. Just look it up. Pretty simple stuff there. The battery box is the same as the RTR, but we did put a 6-channel gyro or an AVC activated receiver in it and paired it up to the DX5C. So it does have pretty good control surface on it. You can set all your endpoints and everything. Really nice doing that. The differentials are all stock. We haven't had to mess with anything, but right here, we went ahead and put a 15-tooth pinion on it to give us just enough speed to be competitive. We didn't want it to be super fast. Although our oval track is 160 feet long end to end, you need a certain amount of speed, but you also have to have a certain amount of control to go with that. As far as that goes, it does have the stock chassis braces in it still, and that's one of the things we do have plans to upgrade. We haven't got to that one yet because it has the 7075 T6 aluminum chassis, and the shock towers are both made out of that really good aluminum, and it really does work pretty well. So as far as that goes, guys, it's kind of a basic setup for what most of these are, but we intentionally set it up in the RTR category so we could tell if what they did to this car actually makes a difference. So there you go, guys. This is the TLR tuned version of the 6S Typhon from Arrma, and that's the way we run. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. It's awesome when you do, and don't forget that notification bell to stay informed of upcoming videos. You know, this new series, it's been a lot of fun to get started with. I hope it carries on. I hope you guys like what we're doing here. And you know, if you do or you don't, please feel free to leave it in the comments down below and let us know what you think. Hey guys, I'm AJ with AJ Jam Studios saying, keep bashing, guys.